Hello there people and comic book fans alike. As you can tell by this video, I am reviewing the 5th issue of X-Men, which is also the 3rd chapter in the Battle of the Atom X-Men Marvel event. And I think without further ado, we better get on tracking. The story sees where we got left off from the last chapter. Jean and Scott have run away because they don't agree with the present and the future X-Men and going back in time to their own sort of present. So they ran away because they want to stay. And while the X-Men and the future X-Men go and try and find them, some of the X-Men are starting to disagree and agree more with Jean and Scott. And while Jean makes a last-ditch effort to contact someone through a psychic link, the contact is somewhat unexpected in a way. So first off, let's start off with the goods. And the goods are, this issue was pretty damn awesome. I actually liked this issue a lot more than the last 2 chapters. I felt I got a better sort of connection with Jean and Scott, a lot better than previous to the whole understanding to why they two decided to run away, why even with young Scott, because I feel like we haven't really got to know young Scott a lot more through the eyes of the all new X-Men titles, well, as I've read. But I got to kind of understand with Jean a lot more, because Jean's starting to become more kind of like a power trip. Maybe this is a reason to why the future X-Men are here, but who knows? They've not really explained it much, in my opinion. But the art on this is actually really good. It's kind of like a mixture of realistic art with comic art. So it's kind of good. It's kind of great. But what I liked, however, was how some of the X-Men are starting to agree with more of Jean and Scott, and the fact that they want them to kind of stay. I think this kind of shows strong sort of difference between the X-Men, and also it kind of like challenges and whatnot. And what's quite interesting, well, if you're not kind of like following the kind of like event, you could pick this up just for the follow of this title, and I do kind of like explain more of the kind of like some of the events that happened within like the last 4 titles of this issue. So that's kind of like a good plus. The bad thing, however, and this might be me going into a bit of a rant, but what I will say, however, is I'm still not convinced on this event at all. Like, I still don't understand why the future X-Men are here. What is, what it was so damaging about the present still, staying here. I don't completely understand why this is. I mean, they're giving subtle hints here and there, but not enough. And some things just don't kind of make utter sense, in my opinion. Like, really doesn't make sense. For one, this has to be an alternate reality sort of future X-Men, because there's no way that such and such couldn't exist, in my opinion. The next sort of part is, if this doesn't do something drastically within the next 2 issues, because the next 2 issues will be the halfway point, then I'm not going to be completely sold on this event at all, and I'm not going to really enjoy it, which is quite a shame, because I do normally enjoy comic book events, even when they take a turn which I don't like, but I tend to try to enjoy them as much as I can, to the most. This is kind of probably the first Marvel sort of event I'm starting not to like, and that could be a bit of a problem in my overall review for this event. Let's get off with the rating first. Like I said, I actually love this issue a lot more than the other sort of 2 chapters, so I will be giving it a 4 out of 5. Now, like I was saying about my overall review, is I will be doing one at the end of all of this event, after I've done the 10th chapter, and what I'll be doing also is you'll get a link to the next chapter of it you know, to the next. So the next one will be chapter 4 when that comes out, and I'll leave the previous one, like previous chapter, in chapter 2. But other than that, however, I will leave you guys at that. Give me kind of your thoughts on what you thought of this event. Are you liking this event? Are you hating it? Do you completely dug it? Or are you kind of really disappointed by it? Let me know. I think it's an interesting talk, and I will see you guys later.